Warning, the Spoilercast does contain spoilers of current and past movies, books, video games, TV shows, and possibly your life. So if you're listening to a show called Spoilercast and you're pissed off that we gave you away spoilers, we really don't care. Thanks again and have a wonderful day. Hello, listeners, and welcome to Spoilercast by Alltower Media. This is Alligator bringing you the newest episode, talking about the newest treasure from Marvel, Doctor Strange. For those of you that haven't heard, D.A. Roberts has book 5 out for the Ragnarok Rising series, and coming soon is book number 2 of the Lost Legion series, taking place in the Infinite Black universe. Make sure to check out our website, alltowerpodcast.com, as well as visit our Facebook page and Instagram at Alltower Media. Be sure to visit our friends with Flick Freaks at all social medias, except MySpace. Watch out for Let's Plays with Alltower Media, Flick Freaks, and Spellbook. Speaking of Spellbook, if you have not yet downloaded Heroes of Dire, I will say you are missing out. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, to laugh.
Hello, this is Roper from Spoilercast.
Long dick of the law, get it right.
The long dick of the law. How are you, Allie?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Thank you for helping out with the intro pieces.
You are so welcome.
Glad we can get you always to do those things with us. Jareth, how are you?
Narf.
No.
Awesome.
Okay. He's been awake for like an hour, folks. So, you know.
That excuses it? He's like that all the time.
Well, you know, it is what it is. Tonight we actually have an additional person with us this evening, and that's my good friend Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
You want to go by Michael?
Sure.
Does that work for you?
Michael works.
Michael works.
We'll stick with Michael.
All right.
I like Ledge. That's all in my head ever since you sent me that
Allie.
message.
I was just scrolling through Facebook while I was waiting for you guys to get through that intro.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you shared the saddest joke I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, let's hear it. I want to take a time out.
Oh, God.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so it says, which cartoon dog is the best? It's
Oh, I've seen that one. It's so
one of those. And it's got Scooby-Doo with a little, thumbs up.
Okay.
Then it's got, like, Brian Griffin with, like, a really laughy face.
Okay.
Then it's got Jake the dog with a, like, oh-no face.
Okay.
From Adventure Time.
Right.
Then it's got the little damn girl from Full Metal Alchemist.
We were discussing that the other morning.
Yeah, it's the saddest motherfucking thing that's ever
I'm
happened.
sorry. I'm
Have-
terrible.
okay.
I know.
Have you seen the trailer for the Full Metal Alchemist movie?
No, actually, I have not.
Have you seen that?
I have seen the
I
trailer
know,
for it.
right?
Yes, I have.
Across the room, fist bump, because it is
Absolutely.
amazing.
It
The
is.
background on his phone is Full Metal Alchemist.
Nice.
Buddy.
Nice.
So, it's good, right? But Jareth and I were sitting here discussing, anime and everything of that nature the other morning, and this particular topic came up, and we were like, God damn it. I was like, have you seen this trailer? He's like, this just means Roy Mustang's got to die again. I'm like, ah. And I'm like, you know who broke my heart? Hughes. Ah. And he's like, you know who broke my heart? That little girl that got turned into a dog. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's to hoping that doesn't make the movie.
Oh, that will break my soul.
I'm not like spiritually or emotionally equipped to handle that.
Neither
but
am I.
But it's such a thing in the show. Like,
I
how can it
know.
not be included?
Because it's
Because it's
horrible.
horrifying.
Moment to geek out about Ghost in the Shell, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, so I rewatched actually the movie Ghost in the Shell. It looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I watched the 1995 anime Ghost in the Shell, and then
Sure.
I've been watching Standalone Complex. And the beginning of Standalone Complex seems to jive a lot with what's happening in the trailers that we're seeing for this. But her jumping off the top of the building is scene for scene
Exactly.
from the very first few scenes that you see in the 1995
I love
rendition.
it. I love it when they do that, when people will make a movie that's an adaptation of a previous story.
So you got rock hard whenever you watched the Beauty and the Beast one, didn't you?
Actually, I haven't seen that. Admittedly.
It is scene for scene.
But you know what
with
really had
the
me
original
excited
trailer.
was Silent Hill. There
Yeah.
were scenes that they did in that movie that were taken directly from the game, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was angle for angle. Lighting was perfect. It was beautifully done.
What?
Anyway.
Mr. Ledge, we are going to go with Ledge. I think it'll be easier.
I like Ledge.
All right.
That works. I'm fine with that.
All right. So
Nobody jump off of him.
Nobody.
All right, so we're talking about Doctor
Hold
Strange.
on a moment, Pokey.
Don't tell me to hold on. You ain't my supervisor.
I am. So, Ledge, how are you this evening? This is the first time you're on with us.
Absolutely. Doing swell.
Good deal. So you have seen Doctor Strange?
Yes. I
Excellent. You don't have any special credentials that bring you to our show. You wanted to be on, so I said you could be on. And
I secretly hope that I have superpowers.
Awesome.
So if that maybe
We all do.
Awesome.
None have manifested yet, but if that qualifies me maybe
Perfect.
a little more to talk about other people with superpowers, I'm down. It's good.
Fantastic.
You fit
Dire
in
Monkey,
perfectly here.
how are you?
Not bad.
Everything been okay? I know you got kind of whirlwind of hurt that's been going on with you.
Yeah,
with your
the
house.
end of the month has been kind of shit, but
With your house turning into a boat.
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Does it count as
No,
turning
it's a reverse boat. It's an aquarium.
reverse boat? Yeah, it's an aquarium.
more,
Yeah.
more like a kiddie pool.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
yeah.
So I don't know that it'd really be a reverse boat if it has water in it. That's just
why
called
we
a
changed it
Yeah, that's
to
why we
aquarium.
that's why
and
we
then
switched to an aquarium.
I would just like to stress that that's called a sunk boat.
Well, I was going with something there. It seemed right, and then I was like, no, it's not right, so I switched.
Yeah.
So it worked out. But Dire Monkey,
Unless it's a boat with an aquarium in it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Ooh,
Then
Dire-
it's probably fine.
Yeah.
What would the correct term be for an aquarium of people? Is it-
Drown.
Like, would you still
unless
call it
you're
an
wa-
aquarium?
Unless you're watching that episode of Futurama where they're in the monkeys zoo,
It's either a
There's all
pool.
these monkeys just watching.
and they're like, "Oh, I've totally wanted to do it via Firefly," and it's actually camera flashes.
It's either a drowning or it's a pool.
Okay.
Drowning pool.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there was a scientific term for it.
And then when you let the
Well,
water
we
out,
don't live underwater,
and
so
then when you let all the water out, you
For 9
the
months
water
we
hit
do.
the floor.
let the
So
bodies floor, yeah.
the thing science has met on this, and they concluded that there didn't need to be a name for it except for probably a war crime.
Okay.
If you put people in an aquarium, they die, and
It's
you
like
go to jail.
It's like some Geneva Convention rules or something that I don't remember reading.
Yeah.
I think that's in there somewhere.
Don't put people in aquariums.
Gotcha.
So Dire Monkey.
We go in terrariums.
Dire Monkey.
Those are different things.
Dire Monkey. We're dancing dangerously away from the topic.
We are.
Dire Monkey, have you seen Doctor Strange?
Have not had a chance to.
Oh, I'm
no.
sorry.
Hold on, we're not talking about Doctor Strange yet.
So, Ledge, I know this all seems quite humorous and things of that nature, but we've had wonderful conversations about like what the genitalia of a bird is called.
Oh, interesting.
No, it was genitalia of fish, and it's cloaca.
Cloaca.
And other lesser
And-
animals.
Yeah, well, we
Okay.
also had the discussion about birds, which is a vent.
Cloaca only refers to alligators and crocodiles.
There you go.
Damn.
What? Since when?
This guy's laying down some
Always.
science right now.
No, you don't understand. That's what he's here for.
That's awesome.
He's here to work the knobs and switches and make us all sound really good, and then he sits back and he finds information for us.
Oh, and he's going to Google it.
He's Googling it. Fish,
Awesome.
Fish.
vagina.
I don't
dicks.
remember. What was the turtle shovel dick called?
I don't. A spade.
A penis?
Terrifying.
No. Oh, so penis is just penis, but it's always the vagina that is
Do
weird
fishes
fucking
have
names?
vaginas? My mom
Well,
don't think so.
It's more about if the vagina and the butt are the same thing.
Oh, okay.
No, they don't. Both male fish and female fish have openings through. Oh my god! I love Google Answers. Google Answers is the best.
Yahoo answers.
Yahoo Answers, yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's basically the same thing.
No.
No, it's a different website.
It's all run by Bing, and you all know it.
No.
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 You use Bing.
I do not use
I
Bing.
require you to commit ritual suicide now.
You've used Bing. Your bloodline has been weakened.
You've been infected.
Yeah. So, well, all right. So, Doctor Strange.
Oh, man.
The only movie to come out this year that's like Inception fucked a kaleidoscope and did LSD.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazily
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah. Just beautiful,
Well
beautiful,
said.
beautiful, beautiful work is what it was.
It was definitely a mind trip.
I like at the very, 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 very end of the credits where it's like, don't text and drive. It won't give you superpowers.
Yes. That was
I saw that, and it cracked me up.
I
And I think
know,
I was
right?
the only one in the theater laughing at it.
See, it was kind of a mixed message for me because I was watching the movie on my phone while I was driving.
Was it raining?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you're probably
Are you driving
fine.
a Ferrari? Or
That whole
Lamborghini
time-
or-
How are
First
your
off-
hands?
He was driving?
How are your hands?
Oh, they're better. I went to India. So.
Okay. Nepal.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Nepal.
Nepal.
Wherever I went. Well, I went to discount one. Discount Karmatage.
Karmatage.
Kathmandu Light.
Down on Commercial Street,
So
there's
that-
this place some guy said was Karmatage.
That whole time that, so I knew that he already got in a car accident. That's what fucks up his hands and such.
Right.
But like that whole time, I was like, "This is a goddamn PSA for everything you're not supposed to be
Right.
doing."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had to add that disclaimer in at the very end.
He's in a car made out of basically toilet paper,
Yep.
Yeah.
driving way too fast.
What is it Doc Brown says about landing the DeLorean on top of that Chevy? He's like, he'll rip through us like tinfoil.
Yeah, he's in that car, and then he's going like 400 miles a goddamn hour on like a twisty ass mountain road.
I love how he just like impales that car on that was it Fintro?
Something like that, yeah.
And it just stops.
Yeah.
It's just like, brah!
Yeah, we never find out what happened to the other driver.
There
And-
wasn't another driver.
There was.
He hit another
fucking
car.
fishtails when he tries to get over and
Yeah.
he hits their nose.
Is that what it was?
I assume they're probably fine.
yeah, they
Probably.
Yeah, who cares?
By the way,
They didn't get superpowers.
so we saw
Yeah, they got shafted.
we saw a skyline in the beginning of the movie, and you can see the Avengers Tower in
Yep.
the distance.
Yeah.
yeah, you could.
Where the fuck is that windy turn in fucking New York City?
That he was going outside of the city though.
Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like Upper New York.
yeah.
He was going to
Where
like a
it's pretty.
party thing.
Yeah.
It just it reminded me far too much of East Coast, where you're on those windy turns and there's just the
I'd
drop off
imagine-
into the ocean.
You
I'd
mean where
imagine
New
there's-
York is?
Reminded
Yeah.
me of Need for Speed 2 on the Xbox.
Shut up, Dire Monkey.
Hey.
It's I think that the other driver is probably the only reason he survived that.
The other
Because somebody had to
the
call.
other driver was Dormammu.
Yeah.
Because like the other
Dun, dun, dun.
so the other driver suffers like a small bump because
Yeah.
he just kind of barely nicks their car and then
Well, going
fucks up.
first off, going that speed under those weather
You're
conditions,
fucked.
you basically, you fart wrong and you're going to wreck your
Right.
car.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what happens. And then he screws up his hands, and then it didn't do him any favors that the other doctor, the incompetent one, that he's like, "You're incompetent."
Uh-huh.
Well, he wasn't actually incompetent.
Competent.
No,
That
but
was the thing.
But he's basically sitting there screaming at him that you're incompetent.
That's part of his arc. He learns to not be such a fucking ass.
True.
he is Magic Tony Stark.
He's
Yeah.
He's worse than Magic Tony Stark.
he's really good at what he does, and as a result, he's a fucking cockbag
He
to
is
everyone else who does it.
Totally full of himself.
Yeah.
The difference between him and Tony Stark is no one does what Tony Stark does,
Right.
except for Justin Hammer, but he's in prison now because he sucks at what Tony Stark does.
Justin Hammer's
It's like
a
if Tony
dick.
Stark's dad would have lived and then just continually been disappointed with him his
Right.
entire life.
Right?
I think that would have been what happened if Tony Stark's dad had lived.
Yeah. Which is true.
So who all caught the Easter egg of the guy in a suit of armor with a spine injury?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That had to have been Rhodey.
It is Rhodey.
Yep.
He has
Yeah.
to be.
That's what I thought. But then another line of dialogue pertaining to that scene made me think not so much.
The only other person that I could think of was the test mech suits that fucking Hammer Industries was doing, where the guy spins.
Yeah, like
But
No.
would you really call that a spinal
Because
injury?
he calls it a U.S. Army colonel.
Army Colonel,
Right.
yeah, with the
Or Air Force colonel or something like that.
Yeah.
He says it's
There-
a colonel.
There's something that was said amongst that, and I can't remember what the line was that made me think it wasn't him.
I'm
There-
pretty certain it's going to end up being him.
There
probably.
is something to think about, though, that may discount that.
What's that?
Hydra was already watching Stephen Strange ass, like, already. He was mentioned in a previous Easter egg during Civil War, where, what's his fuck? The guy that they drop him off a roof and then Falcon catches him. He's talking about, they've got, the program that's watching all of the people
yeah,
who
and I-
could
and
be
they
a problem.
mentioned-
And he mentioned Stephen Strange. So that is like a year and a half before fucko, falls out of the sky. If that's the case, why the hell are they watching a goddamn brain surgeon?
Well, you never know. With their line of work, they may need somebody that is very, very adept at medical crap to help them if they get injured.
Or you have people that are capable of seeing potential futures.
Well, no, we know what it is that they have available, and we know what their goal is. They're watching people who could be a threat to them.
True.
And it's a computer program that is running potential futures out of math. So unless that math machine knows that there is
magic.
Yeah, knows that there's magic out there somewhere, and that if this guy's hands break, he will definitely learn magic. Why are they watching him?
That's a good question.
I think those are conflicting Easter eggs.
I want to know who wrote that program.
Right?
Under what parameters? Like, if this fella's hands break,
at this point
he
in
will
time,
learn magic.
Look, at this point in time, we've got aliens, we've got monsters.
That's true.
Why not magic?
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, we already had magic.
Well, true.
Now, it's actually not new to us.
But
Thor's pretty magical. It's just he's magical.
But it's not really. It's not really magic.
MCU.
It's not really magic for Thor, though. It's technology.
But it's not really magic for Doctor Strange either. Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios right now, was talking about the magic in Thor, and he said that moving forward, he wants that to be the rule of thumb, and that is included in Doctor Strange. That's why everything is, we're drawing power from another dimension to shape reality and things like that. Even, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson was like, the X-Men's powers can work as long as they're drawing energy from another place. Because there always has to be a certain amount of energy used doing a thing, right?
So there's a gate with little monster babies that are like taking things from you.
Question.
Essentially,
Like your arm and your leg.
When they tried to explain Cyclops' power and they linked it to an alternate dimension coming through, didn't Nerd Boys just rage quit on X-Men?
Yeah,
for
probably.
a while, yeah.
So are we really ready to go back to the whole channeling from other dimensions thing?
Well, that's the thing, though. This movie actually very explicitly says that.
Very explicitly.
I mean, the ancient one is like, yeah, I've been doing that for a while in order to
Well,
continue to exist. And
To be specific, they're not like opening gateways to let
Right.
that power through.
right,
It's more like they're tapping into the energy present there.
they're leeches.
On the multiverse.
to bring that power here and then use it to do stuff. Because, like, Wolverine, for example, he should be eating non-stop.
Yeah, for as much as he has to regenerate, that would make sense.
He would run out of biomass.
Yeah, he would.
It's true.
He would just decay because his body is bringing skin from elsewhere.
You're in a constant state of decay.
But if he is getting energy a different way, like, say, through an interdimensional portal in his butthole or something.
That would please let that be in the Old Man Logan movie coming
Right,
out.
right.
Like Charles is like wondering how he's like
How have
somehow
you,
still has his powers.
Logan?
and
How have you
he
stayed
just
young for
straight
so long?
Drops trowel,
Yeah.
bends over, spreads cheeks.
There's a
And then-
swirling vortex.
And
looks-
you see Dormammu's blinking eye.
Yeah, it looks like a sling ring in there.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
So
Which,
wrong.
by
Look, it's the eye of Sauron. No, it's Dormammu.
No, it's Dormammu.
Little sidebar, I'm really, really sick and tired of Wolverine. I feel like they've done way too many movies and they've played that character out. However,
Old Man Logan's going to be
This is
good.
going to be
that's what I
awesome.
was going to say. I'm very, very interested because it seems like this is going to be an entirely new premise for Logan, and I'm curious.
It's also the end of him.
Yes.
Yep.
So back to this, though. There is heavy emphasis from basically the beginning of the movie moving forward on time throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
Like him standing in surgery and asking for the length of time
How long? Yeah.
how long of a song was.
Or the way that he stops and looks at the watches.
All the watches
and-
that he has in his drawer. I was really how many of you guys have seen the movie Hudson Hawk?
haven't seen it.
I've seen it.
No. Okay, well, I watched it a while back, and it's Bruce Willis, and he's a cat burglar, and he breaks into places and whatever, and he and his partner, they use songs in order to time things out because that's kind of their thing. And I was hoping to see that again come up in the movie at a later point in time versus it just being like this one-time little quirk that he's just like, I know shit about how long songs are.
Well, it's an additional, it's a trick
right,
for movies. It's like, look how fucking smart he is.
right,
He knows shit.
right.
I mean, he's already doing brain surgery.
Right, as if that doesn't say he's smart enough.
Well,
Freehand?
yeah.
Freehand?
I'm going freehand.
Right.
It's like, what does that mean?
I can and I will.
What is?
Don't go freehand. You can't see it, my brain.
Right?
I got this.
You can freehand make like homemade biscuits and gravy. You don't fucking freehand brain surgery. Like,
But so they already are showing that he's intelligent. So the additional thing is like showing how blasé
So wait,
he
it's
is
like
about it.
It's like the deodorant commercial where the guy's like, they won't see me sweating, so I got to make this hard for myself.
Yeah, basically.
So
so
then he's doing a shit ton of extra shit to make it challenging.
he's doing brain surgery, and he's not even thinking about doing brain surgery.
Yeah.
And he's the best at it.
Well, some of that stuff, though, that's like muscle memory. And, you know, once you get in there and you start operating on something, I would imagine that there's a lot of memorization that takes place. You don't necessarily have to think about it if you know what you're doing and you've been doing it long enough. It's just remembering what you're doing.
It's not brain surgery.
It's not like
Shut up. You know how people say it's not brain surgery for something
shut
that's
up.
hard? This is actually brain surgery.
Yeah.
See,
But you know what I'm saying.
here's the thing, though. It's not like playing a guitar. You can't just rely on muscle memory.
I'm not saying you have to rely on it. I'm just saying that maybe it doesn't take as much thought as you would think that it would. As if you've been doing it for years.
I don't know. I'm
and
not a
you're-
brain surgeon.
Well,
yeah, exactly. So we don't know.
It's time
So
to go back to school. Time to
Is
finish
it-
my career.
No.
it doesn't even matter
At this
how
point
much.
in time, we've already lost that.
Yeah, it's
What
done.
what matters with that scene, though, is that it doesn't matter how much thought it actually takes to do it. It's how much thought I think it takes to do it.
yeah.
So he's doing this thing in like just the I don't give up. This is my Monday, and like
day.
he's like having fun doing a different thing
So-
while he's doing it. It's like me shooting the shit with my coworker.
So is it any-
while washing dishes?
Is it any real wonder that he's just completely full of himself?
Yeah, he's a fucking cockbag, but he gets the job done.
True.
But he also
He's a skilled
basically
cockbag.
he also just straight up writes people off whenever he doesn't think there's any type of win for him there. I mean, he's
Well,
kind
yeah.
of cherry picking his battles.
But that's also a surgeon trope.
Cherry picking his battles is what he was doing when he crashed his car. He was picking the surgery that was going to advance him the most, that
All
would
right,
put
so-
his name out
So
there.
on that,
Sounds like me back when I was passing meds.
what a good time, wasn't it? So back to that point right there. He's a brain surgeon.
He's a brain surgeon.
He's a brain surgeon. He has no combat experience whatsoever.
Nope.
He's not a fighter.
Nope.
So we actually start to see a different kind of fighter, as it were, when it comes time to actual conflict, like when the people are actively trying to kill him.
Yeah, because
he doesn't fight.
He can't rely on brute strength because he doesn't have that. He has
does
to
do well.
outsmart-
He
He
does
does,
super well because he's
but he has to outsmart them.
exactly.
But there are a few times where he is directly in like two of them gang up on him at a point.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, he does have to fight them, and he's successful-ish. Like he's not like
Ish? You mean the time that he punched the guy in the face and then was like, "Ah, my head."
no.
Come on.
He's using the white light whip. White
Yeah.
lip. He's using a white lip. He's using the light whip. It's just before he ends up getting the cloak and everything.
Yep.
He does fight them, and he is far more successful than I would have expected.
Right.
Right.
But the majority
But
of
that's
his
only
conflict.
from the training that he had while he was, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, they do a lot of martial arts and
Right.
such.
So, I mean, he got some. So he could basically stop a punch.
but
maybe.
the primary focus of his combat is how do I alter my environment to do the fight for me,
Right.
which is neat. Because
Except now he's got his cape, which can apparently suffocate people.
it doesn't actually end up
It's got a
suffocating
mind-
him. It just kind of
it's got
whacks
a mind
him.
of its own.
Wraps it around the
It's
guy's
an
head.
annoyance.
Bang,
Beats
bang,
it into
bang.
things.
And wipes
awesome.
his tears when he's sad.
I know, that
okay,
cape is
that
my
way-
fucking favorite.
Okay, look, I love the cape, and I love the idea that the cape has its own persona
Right.
and can do more than just be
Okay.
a fashion accessory, you know?
Like the carpet
But
from Aladdin.
I really hope, yeah, exactly.
It's exactly like the carpet from Aladdin.
But I really hope that they let that die after the tear wiping thing, that it doesn't become a gimmick. Because can you imagine when he joins the Avengers how much shit he's going to get from Tony Stark for having a cape that can wipe his face and help him blow
I don't
his
think
nose?
he's gonna. I doubt you're gonna see a situation where he's gonna be actively crying like that. Though.
I also
you never know.
don't think he's going to really full on join the Avengers.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't think so?
No,
No,
I think there's
um,
probably going to be some overlap at different points, but I don't think it's going to be like, "Hey, this is us now."
Doctor Strange was never in the Avengers, I don't believe.
He's a
No.
defender.
Now, here's a
No,
question.
not a- was
No,
he-
he is a
he's not-
defender,
not a-
wasn't he?
Was he a defender?
I thought so.
Google, go!
No,
Okay.
there's like a whole magic
That's
team.
your superpower. Google power.
You googly.
Now, I actually have a question about the movie. Okay, now, I'm not some huge comic book nerd, clearly.
What?
But shut up. But I was under the impression that Guardians of the Galaxy operated within the same time frame, but alternate universe?
What?
Same universe.
Say that one more
Same
time.
universe?
Yeah.
It's the same universe.
Same time frame, but alternate universe?
Say that one more time.
Same time frame?
No, the statement, you goon, not that. What
The
you
whole
said,
thing.
The whole thing.
I was under the impression that Guardians of the Galaxy operated within the same time frame, but like an alternate universe.
Same time
No.
frame, same universe, just different place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way out in space.
Okay.
We don't know that this is going on because it's really far out there.
Okay.
Instead
See,
of a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it's just a galaxy far, far away.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's still
I-
our galaxy.
Okay. See, I was under the impression that
Nevertheless.
they were in an alternate universe, so
No.
I thought this would be really interesting that maybe Doctor Strange would be the one that links them together. But
Might
never
be.
mind.
Might be.
And I still
Yeah,
can
does-
see that being actually
Right.
happening. Like
And if-
he is who ties the
I
Guardians.
honestly
Right.
think that Thor would be your more likely candidate for bridging the gap between the two.
Since
Well, but if
Asgard's
they're-
like the connecting highway.
Correct.
Well, right, but if they're
And-
within our same universe, then
and-
you don't need a connecting highway. They just need to locate them way out in space somewhere.
And
Yeah.
you've already seen that overlap because Thor Dark World at the end of that when Thor's
Yeah, they go to
buddies,
the Collector.
They go to the Collector and they give him one of the Infinity Stones.
But there's nothing that says that that's in the same universe.
Other than the fact that they
the
went
Collector.
the Collector, they go.
Well,
Thor.
hold on,
Well,
okay,
hold on.
wait,
Hold on. Wait. Time
Roper,
out. Stop.
you're making
No,
a bad
wait,
point.
Hold on. So Thor is in our world. Thor is friends with Tony Stark and everybody here. He goes back home. He's with these guys there. He's still seeing Jane from our planet and things of that nature is going on there. They get the new Infinity Stone. Those people go over there to hand off the Collector their thing, and then over there on that end for Guardians of the Galaxy, that's where they go to hand off
Okay.
the other Infinity Stone. It all
However-
is all one continuous thing.
However, Asgard and Midgard are different universes.
They're not. They're
No,
different
they're not.
universes.
Then what the hell do you call them?
They're different dimensions.
Dimensions.
But
Okay.
effectively, they're different universes.
Okay, so Jareth, you knew what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
they may not
they-
be different universes, but they're different dimensions.
They
There's
could
nothing
have gone to a different dimension
True.
to talk with the
Could have.
Collector. So that's why I was trying to stop you from making that
But
point.
it's still it's still the same. They're still in. He is the Collector and Guardians of the Galaxy and things of that nature. All of that exists within our realm. That's all within our realm. That's how the spaceship came down and collected Peter.
Yeah, the point is, it's all our universe. So
Scooped him up from Missouri.
was it?
Yeah, Peter gets picked up from Missouri.
Missouri. Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Beginning
Yeah.
of that movie, while his mom's dying in the hospital, they're in a Missouri
It would be
hospital.
somebody from the Midwest that gets abducted.
Yep.
Just saying.
Well, we have infinitely more UFO sightings than other parts of the.
It's because
nation.
there's a lot more open space and people high.
Is that
Yeah.
it?
That's my theory.
Is that it? There's also more
so,
people
sure.
around here that believe in angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even get me
That's-
started on that.
That's a thing.
Composed of pure light.
Oh, there's also a bunch of people out here who are assholes who like to make fun of people who believe things.
I was doing a line from the
Ouch.
beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, you twat.
I know, but you also like to do that in your spare time.
Yeah, because there are people that are dumb, but we're not going to get onto that topic because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. We're talking about Doctor Strange. I wasn't making that point. I was literally making a statement about the movie Guardians of the Galaxy and what she said at the very beginning. She referred to him as an angel composed of pure light.
Pure light.
Yeah. And I was just saying you're an asshole.
No one is arguing that.
You kind of are.
No, I'm not. I'm
okay.
a dick.
Okay. Anyway.
Doctor Strange.
So Doctor Strange. So the guy gets into a car accident. His hands have to be operated on. He has permanent nerve damage that nothing can help fix it.
He has
So
more
what
than
does he do?
permanent nerve damage. He's got just permanent.
He's got
all kinds
hamburger
of-
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His hands are
Linguine
fucked up.
noodles.
That's the jargon. The medical term is
So-
seriously
Fubar.
fucked.
So he goes on. Where is he?
He
He's at
goes-
physical therapy, and he's
Yeah.
talking to the guy who is helping him
The,
exercise.
the
his
guy
fingers.
that's like, you're a dick, and I'm going to
Yeah.
prove you fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that guy is just physical therapist. I don't think he had a name. Did he have a name?
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
he
so.
does, yeah.
I don't think
Or
so.
at least nobody says it out loud.
Not that I recall.
He might have had a name tag on.
But then he's just
Yeah.
like, fuck you, dude. Proved you wrong, biatch.
Yeah, and
so
he brings up the fact that someone suffered like a worse but similar like nerve damage.
It's a spinal injury.
Spinal injury that caused paralysis.
Fully recovered and was able to walk again.
From the chest down.
Play basketball.
Went to this physical therapist and tried to get better and couldn't, and then stopped coming to physical therapy. And then years later,
he saw him on the
street.
The
physical therapist bumps into him on the street, walking, and totally fine.
Because of magic.
Because magic.
Literally
apparently.
because magic, yes.
Yep.
Yep,
So-
I thought that was interesting.
So he goes looking for said guy, finds said guy.
He doesn't go looking for said guy
Yes,
until
he
the
does.
guy until the physical therapist sends
That's
him the
what I'm
file.
saying.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
know?
once
sends
he's
him the
proved,
proof.
right?
Yeah, once he's got proof.
Yeah.
He didn't go looking for it. He's not like, oh, you mean that's a thing? And then he just went after it. No, he was like, prove it, and then I'll go believe you. And then he went and tracks the guy down.
Yep.
And guys like, go to Nepal.
Yeah. And then
A place called Karmatage, and he
then he
goes there
goes.
asking everybody, like, are you a guru?
What's weird is that he goes around asking everybody, and like no one knows what he's talking about.
Because no one knows about this fucking place.
But then he just happens across these people.
Yeah, it's called fucking destiny,
fate,
yo.
Is
man.
that it? Is that what
It's
you're going
fate.
with? Is that
No.
what it is?
Well, because what's his name? The first guy that he meets ends up following him. He overhears him. It was actually a coincidence. It's not like,
And that
Coincidence.
he just ran into the
that
guy.
was Mordo, correct? That was
Yeah.
the first
Mordo,
guy that he
yeah.
ran into.
Sir, it's the
then
agent that
he's-
we later find over in Firefly. Okay.
Okay, my bad.
And then
My bad.
so Doctor Strange ends up on a dark alley, which apparently happens to be almost practically right in front of the door of the
Yeah.
temple, right?
With his future arch nemesis, Baron
Right.
Mordo,
Right.
when he was still
And he
good.
starts getting the crap kicked out of him because he doesn't want to give up his watch.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't want to give up
that's
that
right.
that watch.
That watch.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, we didn't know about the significance of the watch until later when we see the inscription on the back.
Well, we'd actually already seen the inscription.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Um,
see the inscription.
At the
You
very
weren't watching the
beginning,
movie.
he
The
picks
movie,
up the
yeah.
watch, and then they have a discussion about that and other shit, but mostly other shit.
Yeah.
But he picks up the watch at the very beginning when he's getting dressed, and he flips it over.
Yep.
Oh,
And he's looking at it for like half a second, and then he puts it on.
maybe that was when I was opening my water bottle. I don't know.
See what-
That exact moment, I was looking
Well-
down.
No, towards
have
the
my
beginning of
face
the
buried
movie,
in the
I pulled my
popcorn
water
bucket.
bottle out of my purse and I was opening it, so that might have been the moment that
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
So the watch had already been expressed as significant, and
Right.
then he discounts its significance when he's like, fuck everything because I'm
Well, yeah,
an
'cause
angry
he's
person.
fucking low on himself.
And then she's all like, all right, well, fuck you. And then we see that he does still have the watch. It's the only thing he possesses. So whenever he fights for it, you're like, oh,
yeah.
he's still an asshole.
See, in that moment didn't have as much significance for me when I saw they were kicking the crap out of him because of the watch, because the watch didn't have... There was no emotional attachment to the watch for me that I had seen.
Doctor Strange team affiliations: New Avengers, Illuminati, Defenders, The Order, and Midnight Suns.
Okay, there
The
you go.
Illuminati also has Tony Stark on it, I believe.
Yes.
Because that's the super smart heroes, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then of course she's good friends with Huang and Ancient One.
Huang
Huang.
killed me.
Huang.
Wong
Yeah.
was
Beyonce?
Funny. Beyonce. Oh, that was so great. That made me so happy.
Did it?
Oh my God, so happy.
His fucking laugh at the end.
I
was
know.
Like, what?
But no, that scene killed me because he's sitting there listening to Beyonce, and then here you see these little portals opening up, and just here's his hand, here's Doctor Strange's hand grabbing the books, and then he turns to look, and all of a sudden he turns back, and the book in front of him is gone.
I very much love that scene. The only thing that it kind of felt a little, I don't know, cheesy due to the fact that like that was like one of my favorite scenes in Guardians of the Galaxy. Whenever the guy, like the dude in the prison, took his headset and is sitting there listening to the music, so it almost felt like I was just watching
That again?
a similar scene. Like it was still good and it still fit, but it was like
It seemed very
recycled.
It seemed very comic book-esque.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very like
It seemed very comical.
that's
I would
well.
say, yeah.
I'm saying that for a comic book movie, if you were to put this into a comic book, that would fit very well for what it is you're looking at there.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that being a very good still.
Right.
Seeing the guy that you think is the asshole sitting there with the headphones
Yeah,
on
he's
his head.
looking down, and then you see
You know.
a hand coming through a portal behind him,
Grabbing a book.
and then that's it. Yeah, and then like the next scene, it's like him doing this, and that portal's gone, and there's a new one in front of him.
Yeah.
you could put that together very well
Very
in a comic
easily.
book, and I think that's kind of what I enjoy about a lot of the movies that we're seeing with this. Is a lot of these scenes are I mean, it's like you're watching a comic book.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. But I'm not a big fan of Wong.
No?
He's just kind of there.
Now it seems like he's going to be almost the sidekick.
Well, yeah, now, but to begin with, he was just kind of...
Yeah. Well, he was just a librarian. We didn't really give a shit at that point.
True.
He's just the guy that was filler to give Doctor Strange more information that wasn't pertinent to the plot.
And then everyone comes in running in screaming at him whenever he fucking has figured out how to do time manipulation. And then they're talking about consequences that boot never drops.
Yeah.
That boot hasn't dropped.
Yeah, it never had, though, through this entire movie.
Yeah. I don't think that this is the movie for it.
True.
Because it doesn't have to be immediate, reprimand. The point is that even if there isn't consequences, there fucking could be.
So do you think there will be consequences for him manipulating the apple back and forth?
Maybe.
That was what I was wondering.
That was a really cool scene, though. There are consequences for every time you do this, up to and including you putting the book back together again, the apple you were screwing with, bringing Wong back to life, even though he block you undestroyed. Yeah, the one that you're like.
There is a consequence. Baron Mordo had enough of it, and now he's going to start stealing magic.
True.
Yeah,
that's
he becomes Highlander magician.
Yep. There could be only one.
Yeah, it's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically what he's doing, he's going around, he's like, look, the problem is there's too many goddamn wizards.
Yep.
And
that reminded me of, like, I don't know, this is completely random, like The Lost Boys, the movie way back in the fucking day.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the movie,
the
and he
best
drives
thing.
the fork truck through, he's like, too many goddamn vampires.
vampires.
Like, that's exactly what it reminded me of, like, too many goddamn wizards.
That was a great moment.
That's one of the best, because the mom's like, Dad?
Yeah.
Yep. He's just like, I think, like chugging whiskey or something.
he goes over to the fridge, he opens it up because everything else is all like destroyed.
It's his root beer.
Yeah.
It's his shelf.
Yeah,
with his root beer.
Yeah, he's like, don't touch it.
Yep.
That's his. It's even got the little cardboard flap on there that says it's his. And he's like, this place is a great place to live. Just too many goddamn vampires. Yep. And then, here we are in this movie, and at the end of it, he's like,
too many goddamn sorcerers.
I figured out what the problem is. There's too many people manipulating too much crap.
Yep.
I feel like going after Benjamin Bratt's character for that was kind of fucked up, because he had absolutely no desire to affect anything other than himself so that he could be totally functional.
All that's purpose is the fact that we were able to, we already had another wizard out there.
Yeah.
He's the only other one that we knew by name.
No, I know. It's just a bummer. Like, literally the only thing that he wanted was to be able to walk.
And that is the point right there, like showing that Mordo does not care what you're using it for, even though it's a very, very, like, not harming anyone else, just giving you the ability to walk, and Baron Mordo does not give a shit.
We also don't know if there are other ramifications.
True.
He is tapping into that same energy for a selfish gain.
Well, I mean,
which is the opposite of what he wants.
The Ancient One did it for, I mean, I don't think it ever specified in the movie, but obviously a pretty long time, and you didn't really see any big ramifications.
That we're aware of.
He mentioned that she was Celtic.
Yeah.
So a while.
Yeah. A hot minute.
Yeah. A very hot minute.
But the thing is, though, we're too close to it at that point in time.
It's true.
So you can't see what the ramifications were.
Yeah.
And short of manipulating time back to before that and letting it run forward.
There was no big picture.
But still, even then, you wouldn't be able to see what the ramifications were, because you're manipulating everything once again.
That's true.
Right.
So,
Moment to touch on the fact that basically Doctor Strange beat the big bad being by
Dormammu.
By boarding him. Making him bored.
I have a problem with that. Yeah. I guess this kind of speaks to that character, though. Dormammu is not patient. He's basically like a big baby.
He's a primal hunger.
Exactly. Because here's the deal. He's like, Dormammu, I'm here to make a deal. You're my freaking slave now because I'm going to keep doing this. And he's just like, bam! And then he just crushes him. Yeah. Whereas, if you were actually some type of long-term, really sadistic monster, you'd be like, that's fine. Let's see how long we can draw this out of me peeling the meat from your bones.
You know who would have had fun in that scenario? Magneto.
Why?
Because he has patience. He has patience, and he's got a cunning.
Well,
He would have beaten Doctor Strange.
I think it kind of depends, because there are a lot of times where there are certain topics for Magneto where he's like, that's a hot button for me, and I'm just going to straight up kill you.
That's
Well,
true.
But this wouldn't have been a hot
It's
button
a
for
little
Magneto.
touchy.
This would have just
Yeah,
been
'cause-
who's going to outsmart who.
This is
Well, also, Magneto doesn't want to blow up the planet.
true.
True.
And I don't think
Most
Dormammu
of the
wants
time.
to either. He more or less just wants to
Eat it.
Eat it.
He wants to consume it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know I'm just theorizing.
Yeah.
Cough, Galactus, cough.
Yeah, well, hey,
Yeah,
hey,
right?
hey, this isn't a giant storm cloud. Okay?
Right? Yeah,
This
that was
wasn't-
awful.
This wasn't a giant storm cloud
Well,
rolling in.
That's
I was so disappointed with that.
there's
Yeah.
precedents. There are a lot of ancient, hyper beings in Marvel lore that just kind of eat stuff.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
And they're assholes about it.
yeah, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
But all right. So, Jareth, who do you suppose is the bigger of the baddies here, Dormammu or Thanos?
I would probably go with Dormammu in general.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a giant cosmic head who eats entire dimensions. That's pretty big.
Right.
But he's also not he's not an immediate threat
True.
because somebody has to let him in. There's all of these rules about how it works, whereas Thanos is just here.
Right.
He just has to come fuck with us.
Right. He just has to be made aware of your existence and then go.
Yeah, it's like, who's more of a threat to me? Al Capone in another city, or that guy who wants to murder me for my money right the fuck now?
Right.
Now, here's a question.
Go for it.
Me not being a huge comic book person,
Yeah.
what is Thanos' driving aspiration?
Oh, he
Thanos
wants.
is in love with death.
Yeah, he wants to kill people.
Like the
to-
actual
like-
entity
The
of.
entity of death he is in love with.
So he
And
wants
is trying
to
and she has
Interesting.
never ever she won't have him basically. So he's
giving her gifts.
So when do
literally
you think
trying
they're
to
gonna-
impress her by slaughtering everyone and everything.
So when do you think they're going to introduce that character to
About
the
the same
MCU?
time that they bring Deadpool over, because Deadpool's another side of that coin.
I don't think that they're going
And
to.
they
I don't
won't.
think that they're going
Nope.
to.
They won't.
I can't see them adding
That is
Deadpool.
that's exactly right. That is a hilarious side of that coin.
Yep.
Because Deadpool and death is kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I could see that. Even though I have no idea, I have no idea about the character Death, but I could see.
I'll loan you those comics.
Yes, please. I would love that. No, and I don't think they'll ever bring Deadpool over. He's too dark, too graphic, too.
Also, Fox owns the shit out of him, and that's all they've
Yeah.
got.
Yeah,
At the
that
moment,
too.
they're like,
They're
this is what
losing-
we're hanging on to.
They're losing Wolverine,
Yep.
and all of their
Spider-Man.
X-Men movies have sunk. Deadpool's
Yeah.
all they've
Sony.
got.
Yeah.
Yup. So, but yeah, Thanos and Death and Deadpool are kind of a
They're
little
like love triangle.
little
Interesting. Okay.
I expect we'll probably.
Wonder if Wade Wilson and Thanos
So now-
have slit shafts or something.
thing. No.
Okay, so now wait a minute though. If they're not going to introduce the character Death into the MCU, then what would Thanos' driving aspiration be in the MCU?
He's mad.
He's
Galactic
a bad guy.
At
Conquest.
He's
He's
mad.
called
Crazy
the
mad.
Titan.
Mad.
oh,
Yes.
crazy. Okay.
That's why they call him the Mad
The
Titan.
Mad Titan. Yeah.
I had not heard that, so.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we could give him all sorts of things. Like, maybe he just wants to conquer the world. Maybe
Worlds.
he's just a dick.
And see, to
Yeah.
me, somebody that wants to do that is more of a threat than Dormammu, just because Dormammu,
See, I
if
agree
he
with
sucks
that.
away your world, then you don't know. You're just gone.
Dire Monkey, will you pull up Dormammu for me on this list here? There are these beings. I don't remember what they're called.
Are they the weird clay-looking dudes?
Yeah, those guys, the ones that have like the well, they look like putties, but they've got like Cylon eyes.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember their name too
I don't
now.
remember what their name is, but basically, whenever the bad guys at the end of this movie get sucked up into his realm, they kind of look like they get turned into that, don't you think?
Kind of look like they got super mushy,
Yeah.
like they're dead now, probably forever. Not like,
They
oh
cease to
look,
exist in the physical world.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
these things, I think they're called the mindless ones.
I think that's right.
I think that's what they're called. You want to just search Marvel the mindless ones, see if that gives us something. But anyhow, these beings, they're called, I'm wanting to say they're the mindless ones, and basically they're like an extension of Dormammu because they kind of operate off of a hive mind kind of deal.
Yep.
Interesting.
The mindless ones. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they look like a Play-Doh monster with Cylon eyes.
Yeah. So whenever they get pulled up into the other universe right there at the end of the movie, where he's like, well, you get to go, join the
Join your
thing.
master.
Yeah.
You're not going to like it.
You're not going to like it. They start kind of like husking over and turning into something similar to this, I think. And, of course, these things are kind of one with Dormammu.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that might be a thing.
it might be a thing that we see at a later point in time as some of the mindless ones, especially whenever we get Dormammu back, because much like
Which is probably going to be Doctor Strange 3.
potentially. The next thing we're going to be seeing is Ragnarok.
Yep.
And in Ragnarok, I really believe is where we're going to get the last one of the Soul Stone, or it's where we'll get the last of the Infinity Stones, and it'll be the Soul Stone.
Yep.
We have 5 currently.
5 currently.
We're still looking for 2, right?
1.
1.
There's 6 total.
I thought there were 7.
There's 6.
Okay.
You've got
How many hands on your?
I thought that,
what?
There are only 5.
yeah, one goes in the middle.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
There's 6.
One for each finger and one in the middle.
But
Yeah.
I remember reading somewhere that the MCU was planning on cutting a gem.
Really?
Oh.
I don't think so.
So-
to my understanding, there's still one missing, and it's speculated as being in Ragnarok.
Maybe.
From what I've been reading.
It was a long time ago, so I might have misread or might be misremembering.
I'm just
Sure.
interested in the Planet Hulk aspect of Ragnarok.
I don't know if
They
they're going
kind
to
of
do that.
alluded to
I really,
slightly.
really think that we're going to see the robot Ragnarok.
Really?
I think that's what we'll see. Especially, I honestly think that when we saw Thor at the end of the movie talking to Doctor Strange, I really think that's who that is.
really?
I really think that's
Because
who they are.
otherwise, they've completely cut out a plot line.
Which is Loki's currently sitting in the seat of Odin.
Yep.
Yeah, which Thor doesn't know as far as we know.
No.
Right.
Correct.
No one knows.
No one
Except
knows.
for Loki.
Loki.
Yeah, Loki is dead to him. Like, literally, like, he is
Does not
believes him
exist,
dead.
yes.
So,
So it's weird that he's like, yeah, I'm in town with my brother.
yeah,
we're looking for my dad.
looking for Dad.
So
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
a very good point.
It is sort of odd.
Yeah, that threw
That's
me
a
for a
very
little bit
good
of a loop.
point.
And then, of course, I don't know, Allie, are you familiar with the robot Ragnarok?
Not so much.
Okay, so in Marvel's universe, there is a robot that was created that looks exactly like Thor.
Okay.
And everything about it, I think for a while there, it actively believes it's Thor.
It's Thor, yeah.
It's Thor, but it's not. It's a
Yeah.
killbot.
That's creepy. Now, how much like Thor are we like? How much?
Right down to penis size. That's how
Like-
much we're talking.
Are we talking?
All your
like-
wildest-
the turtle shovel and everything.
All your wildest Thor dreams can come true.
Okay, are we
Thor
talking
making
like,
out with Thor in the business.
like metal exterior, or are we talking
no,
like
he looks like Thor.
like T1000?
He looks like
like
organic.
a total
Like
human.
skin.
He looks like Thor, and then at a later point in time, he ends up getting damaged by something, and like it strips open one side of its face. Well, this is clearly from all
Classic Terminator.
the comic books, and it's ended up. Would you pull up a regular picture of Ragnarok from Marvel so she can see what I know I'm talking about? But the Ragnarok in Marvel, one side of its face is all ripped open and whatever, but it looks like Thor.
Does it
for
have
all
a
intents-
red eye?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, it does. And it's a monster. It's a bad guy.
So it's
That's what I
basically Marvel Skynet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Marvel. Arnold.
Just do the images.
Now, who creates this?
I don't remember who
I remember
The
puts it
pseudo
together.
Thor.
It was me. I did it.
Oh,
I can
God
see
damn
that.
it, Jareth.
There you go. Second row, down one, right? Just the other way. There you go. That one right there. Like everything about it's supposed to look like Thor, but it's it's a robot.
He's the Thorminator.
The Thorminator. That is awful.
And I could see this kind of happening with use of the Soul Stone and things of that nature, especially with what it's supposed to be.
Well, if they're not going to have this character, if they're not going to have the fake Thor be part of it, why name the movie Ragnarok? That would make
'cause
sense to me.
Norse
'Cause-
mythology,
Mythology Ragnarok is the end of the world.
correct,
Okay.
When the world gets destroyed and then is reborn.
correct.
Okay. Fair
Now,
enough.
I think it's oh god damn it, I lost his name again. Sam
Neil.
Neil. We were I have no idea. The other morning we were having a discussion, and I was like Jurassic Park, and he was naming off everybody except for him, and I'm like,
Because
he's Dr. Grant, and he was like, shit, that derailed me because I was thinking of Dr. Grant, and I thought you were looking for the name Dr. Grant.
So once he said Dr. Grant, I couldn't think of it anymore.
I hate it when that happens.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's Sam. And he's like, Neil? And I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you.
See, the thing was, is I could bring Sam Neill to mind, but he said Dr. Grant, and I
Right.
thought that he was actually looking for the character name.
And broke him.
Right.
So once he
Okay.
said that, I was like, but I can't be
Okay,
right then.
What does Sam Neill have to do with any of this?
They've got him listed in Thor Ragnarok, but he's
Okay.
currently unnamed as far as
who
what
he's playing.
Which means
That's
he's
clear.
definitely a bad guy since they're
Correct.
done filming.
Right.
He's
Okay.
definitely a surprise.
Yes.
So are you alluding that he might be the fake Thor? Because that would
No.
be dumb.
No,
No.
he might be what creates.
he might
the
be
fake
Maybe.
literally something else. I don't know
Also,
what it would
super
be.
exciting. Taika Waititi is the director for Thor
Oh, yeah?
Ragnarok. Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, pretty jazzed
Does
about
that mean
that.
anything to you?
I know.
Okay.
Have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows? Or
No.
that's a shame. It's a fantastic movie.
You're
you
a
should
shame.
watch it. Okay, cool.
All right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
That's where this went.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
I'm glad that you guys were excited about that name.
yeah.
The fact that you guys are excited means something to me.
Well,
Just
and-
the name didn't.
Yeah. So
You know,
okay. So
whatever.
there's this common theme amidst some of our co-hosts that we have every once and again, like my good buddy Josh and Allie, and they're convinced that we hate movies, but we don't. And they're just like, well,
Yes,
you're just
you do.
No, we don't. We're just we expect
I-
good storytelling.
I hate bad movies.
Exactly. You know, like Suicide Squad.
Still haven't seen it. Still have
So
no
like,
desire to.
Or Batman v
versus
Superman.
Superman.
That was just utter garbage.
Yes.
I actually
It was
enjoyed that movie.
So bad.
I realized that it was
okay.
not what it could have been, and I openly admitted that.
I
But
will
it
say-
wasn't as bad as you guys ripped it apart. These
That's
two fuckers ripped
pretty
that
bad.
movie to shreds,
Whenever
and
I
it
got
didn't
out of the
deserve
movie
it.
theater, what I said is that if you do not know shit about DC lore, it is the best action comic book movie. Like if you know nothing about what is going on, then it's one of the better.
That's
comic
like a
book
fun
movies
way.
out
But
there.
but that's the whole point of comic book movies nowadays. You don't have kids that are major comic book nerds like there used to be. You have they
That's true.
Actually,
There's a
currently
point to
comics are
creating-
they're a massive resurgence.
well, right, because
Like-
of these movies though.
That's true.
If these movies did not exist, there would not have been that huge resurgence.
still
This
shouldn't
was a
have shit
great
on my
way for
universe.
DC to be able to make a movie that can reach masses without you needing to know the fundamentals and the basics of where these characters came
But
from.
whenever you're telling a story, and whenever you're trying to create a situation, proper motivation is paramount. For Baron Mordo, we see him. We were just introduced.
We're
to him.
present for his entire struggle.
We literally start off with him as a good guy, and he is fundamentally a good guy.
Yep.
I mean, it's what he is. It's who
We
he's
learn his
been.
character flaw. He doesn't bend.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
we watch him, and then at the end of the movie, it really doesn't surprise us whenever he turns into a bad guy.
well, right,
because
we
we
watched
understand
the character evolution.
we had that same opportunity throughout the entirety of Batman versus Superman.
How did you not see the character evolutions there? I don't
Because
understand.
they don't do that,
They did it. It just took place in like 15 seconds.
and it's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
For no
You
apparent
guys
reason.
are still talking about that Martha moment, aren't you?
No, actually, I'm talking about most of the character
Yes.
decisions in the movie. For example, literally anything that Lex Luthor does.
Yes.
Okay, now that I can't. No. Lex Luthor confused the fuck out of me in that movie. That one I am with you guys on.
Lex Luthor, it felt like they were throwing red herrings at us all over the place.
And yeah, and they were.
They're like, look, this is why he's doing it. And they're like, but wait,
There's more.
Yeah.
But I understand the motivations
That
behind
fucking Jolly Rancher
the decisions
scene.
that Batman's.
Was
Oh my
hot
god,
as
the Jolly Rancher.
Just wait.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Jesus.
just rock
Talk
hard.
about a sexual harassment suit right there.
Yeah.
and he
well,
just
on.
lets him.
I know.
And he's like, I'm still totally
Well,
giving you the...
I'm sorry, I would not have opened my mouth.
well, I don't
No.
think he had a choice.
Even if I,
Furthermore, the
even
thing
if
is,
he didn't, and he ate the thing, I'd be like, there's no deal anymore.
yeah.
I'm bringing Jolly Ranchers next Sunday, and we'll see who opens their mouth.
I'll take one.
Yeah, you would.
So,
But at least we know you.
yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
You know, but most of the characters' motivations throughout that entire movie, and then you get over to Suicide Squad, and it's the same thing. You run into the same issues where it's like they set these cards up, going, "Hey, this is who this person is as a person, and we're going to set that groundwork." And then midway through the movie, they're like, "Nah, but he's got family now."
Yeah.
And they just DC religiously does that to us. Whereas Marvel sits back with a character and they go, here's who this person is. And yeah, a lot of the new characters that we're seeing, or a lot of the stuff that we're seeing, like Hank Pym not being Ant-Man anymore, we're being given a new Ant-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we're fine with that. And we walk into it fine with that because we get to go through those motions with those characters from the ground moving forward. You know, so we don't walk in with this bad taste in our mouth going, that's not what this is supposed to be.
Like, nobody should... Let's... perfect example. The most recent and largest discussion of character evolution and world evolution was Civil War.
Correct.
Nobody should have been surprised if they've been following along by anybody's decisions in that film.
Yeah.
We know that Captain America has an incredible, like a really soft spot somewhere in near his genitals for Bucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we know that he's going to go above and beyond for him.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Well, he's the last surviving person from his generation, from his
but we've
time.
been given, but we've been given that
sense.
all along.
Yeah.
But we also know where he stands on human, like, personal rights as well.
Right.
Because he's representative of what America was, the idea of America.
Right.
Make America great again.
Oh, God.
Make America cap again.
Get out.
And
Get
then,
out.
And then Tony
He
Stark.
needs great, like with a cheese grater,
Right.
like Jareth
right.
was saying last week.
I like cheese.
So with Tony Stark, we've got this evolution of his fear. And that's been driving several movies.
Yeah.
That's
it
been
has.
coming since he
Since
destroyed.
day one.
Well, it was since. I mean, it's what when we first meet Tony Stark, he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to sell you. I'm going to sell you guns and weapons and things of that nature." And then he sees the consequences of those because he's on the other end of it.
And then he goes, "Oh shit, I'm changing the company."
Yeah, and then he starts trying to do better by wrangling in all of his technology.
But
all
he
of his
keeps
weapons.
running into issues he can't control.
Correct.
And it terrifies him. So
Well,
he's trying to create control.
And I think that is a real big thing for him because he's very
He's
very much an egomaniac. He wants to be in control.
But when
of
we
everything.
full stop, pause, time out, and switch over to DC, what you're running into is they're like, "Look, Batman. Look, Superman." And then you walk into these movies with these pre-built notions of who these people are because they're not giving you anything else. They're not starting off going, "Look,
Because
here's this version of Batman."
Even if we've got this world full of children who aren't big comic book nerds, I could walk up to any 4-year-old
Correct.
and be like, "Who is Batman?"
Batman's been around for 75 years.
He's
Superman's
part of
been
the-
around for almost 100 years. So when we're looking at these characters and you're walking into it going, "Look, here's Batman. Look, here's Superman." And that movie doesn't take the time to hold you by the hand and go, "This is who our Batman is. This is who our Superman
Which
is."
there are iterations of Batman that kill. There are
Correct.
there are iterations that are like this.
But instead of doing that, they just go, "Look, Batman." And then they start the movie. And so you walk into it. Everybody rejects that hard because you go, "That's not the Batman that I'm supposed to know."
That's not my
what
Batman.
it boils down to is a problem with the way the
Hashtag
movies
that's not
have
my
made.
Batman.
No, listen.
Hashtag that's not my Batman.
Oh my God. No, okay, so
Holy shit.
prior to the MCU, we didn't have Iron Man movies. We didn't have Thor movies. We didn't have this universe in movies at all.
Well, we did. Not like this.
Not
Yeah,
like
not
this.
like this.
However,
We did have David
However,
Hasselhoff as
oh God.
agent.
Okay, moving on. We're just gonna step around that.
Go ahead.
But DC, there have been so many Batman movies and so many Superman movies. So the problem is that they are making these movies because everybody does already know who these characters are.
But each of those,
the MCU has started from the ground up introducing you because most of the people that are watching these movies have never even heard of these characters
and my
before.
argument against that is
Iron Man
that
and Captain America are well known.
very well known. They've been around probably as long as what Batman's been around
Was
for.
there a Captain America movie prior
there
to
was.
the MCU?
Actually,
Yes.
there was, yes.
There
Was
was.
there? Because
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, there was.
It was awful.
And there was an Iron Man movie prior
When?
to that. Dara Monkey, would you care to pull up the original Iron Man movie from way back when? And,
Several Hulk movies as well.
Yeah, there were several Hulk movies.
We're just going to write those off because
And
those
a-
were awful.
and
Those
a
were
Hulk
piss poor.
show.
There were just
Ferrigno.
do the Captain America. Look up Captain America movie. What era?
Now,
what
was
time
this
frame was that?
previous Captain America movie a major motion picture? Because that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like animated. I'm not talking about like B films straight to DVD or VHS
I
release.
think it was done in like the 60s.
Yeah, it was
Right.
old.
Right.
79.
So
1979. Next one down.
But there's been a
1979.
Superman or Batman movie released every couple of years for the
And
last
then
like 20 years.
It shows that there was one in 1979 and one in 1990. Captain America, 1990.
It's also worth mentioning
Steve Rogers, Captain America. That's there you go. Ned Beatty's in it.
Yeah, the one movie.
Hey, Dire Monkey, I don't think your mic is on.
It's not. He's not near it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
His mouth was away from it.
So, yes, there have been those films coming out almost annually, but something to keep in mind, 99% of them are terrible. Some of them are great because of it.
Yeah.
But they have consistently run into significant issues either in production, writing, acting, who knows. It doesn't matter what caused them to be bad. They're not good movies.
Yes. Well, the other thing is, okay, so as I was going to say a moment ago, and then we're probably going to go ahead and tie this up because I know that we were probably 10 minutes ago. The thing
Also, we
is,
got way off track of Doctor
yeah,
Strange.
a little bit, but this all does tie together. So with Batman and some of the original ones that came out, your earlier Batmans, all the stuff that we're just ignoring nowadays, with Dr. Freeze and the Riddler and all
the
that
bat
good
nipples.
business. Yeah,
Those
that's
are I love those.
But the thing is that they still took the time to show you that this is their version of Batman.
Right.
They took the foundation work of, hey, this is what it was in the comic books, this is what it was TV show wise, and then they kind of bridged out from there.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go, here's what because they were like, hey, look, Batman. And you're like, oh, cool, a Batman movie. And you went and you watched it, and it met those expectations because that's what it was.
It's the
new Batman movie that we get spoon-fed this last go-around here with Batman versus Superman, they went kind of off the rails in a certain regard, and because of that, there were people that are just like, no, that's not what he's supposed to be.
It's a bad sign in a film that isn't like supposed to be a psychological thriller or something dealing with the past, where they have to rely on flashbacks and dreams to give you an idea of who the character is.
I think the reason that they ended up doing that, though, was because if you look at all the previous Batman movies specifically, there's not a whole lot of character buildup. Like, he's an orphan, his parents were killed. There's not a whole lot of depth to the character other than, look what he's become. In the Batman versus Superman, I think they relied on flashbacks because they want to humanize him more. He's not just some guy with gadgets.
But the point is, you don't need that. How many times have we been told Batman's origin stories? How many times have we been told Spider-Man's origin stories?
But this is a different
Do you know why
take.
the MCU's Spider-Man's going to be the best Spider-Man all of them? Is because it's Homecoming. You don't have to backpedal to his origin stories and move forward.
True.
We've been given that over and over and over and over. With Batman versus Superman, they literally go, you've been Batman for 20 years.
But how many of the other previous Batman movies have you ever paused while watching the movies and taken into consideration the fact that the reason that he is the Batman that he is because he's still so psychologically fucked up from what happened to him as a kid? No, they don't touch on that. He's just a guy with cool gadgets that kicks the bad guy's butt. That's all it is. So in Batman vs. Superman, they give you the flashbacks and they give you that intense Martha moment to make you realize he's human and he's got mental fucking issues.
Batman is the world's greatest detective. You can't tell me during the time that he was doing any type of background checks on Clark fucking Kent that he didn't know that his mother's name was Martha. To get sidetracked by it so hard in the midst of a battle where he's like, I am going to kill all Kryptonians.
I have to kill you to save
When did
our
he do a
planet.
background check on Clark
He's
Kent?
the world's greatest detective.
He had no
crosses
reason-
paths with Clark Kent at that meeting where Lex Luthor's there. He's
Yeah,
like,
at that
hey,
big
Clark
gala."
Kent.
Yep. And they have a slight
But
little
yeah.
argument as well.
Yeah.
But he's just a reporter
Doesn't
for the
matter.
fucking newspaper. He
Once-
has no reason to necessarily look into that one specific person.
Nah.
Who cares? It's a guy that writes articles.
This is Batman we're talking about.
This is
No,
this
no.
is this is Batman.
He's
See?
also not magically cloaked. He wears glasses, and Batman knows what Superman looks like.
From a distance.
That's the
Oh my god. You
Well,
guys are
and
dicks.
from like all of the pictures that are taken of
yeah.
him from like Lois Lane.
Whatever. We're over time. Wrap it up. You guys are just heartless, and you don't like the fact that Batman is a person and has issues.
No, I do like that.
I love
like
that.
That's like
I
one of
don't
the
like the
fundamental
way they did it.
Exactly.
Okay, then that's fine.
That movie is terrible.
No.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And it's
Agreed.
fine that you liked it.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're not wrong for liking it.
Okay, shut up. I gotta go home and bathe my kids and put them to bed.
You're basically comparing the storytelling capabilities of Playboy Video versus Vivid Video.
So, final thoughts on Doctor Strange, and then we're calling this good.
Loved it. I am very excited to see how they incorporate him into the Avengers. His
Fantastic.
powers with everybody else's. It'll be interesting.
What did you think of the final intro pieces, or the extra pieces that as we were leaving from that?
I feel really bad for Benjamin Bratt now.
Yeah,
It's kind of fucked up.
because he's just a cripple.
And I think that him and Thor will make a very funny duo.
Yes, I think so too. I think I'll miss out on Hulk punching him in the side of the face every once again.
Yeah, right.
Ledge, what are your final thoughts here?
Honestly, I'd say it's probably one of the best adaptations from a comic book character, and even like several scenes that they stripped straight from the comics into a movie in the MCU, or honestly in any comic book adaptation they've done to a movie. This is probably the best that I have seen. I absolutely loved it. Can't really say that I've had a complaint about it. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
It's very, very good.
rock on. Jareth, I'm going to ask you a different question though. Where do you rank this on your Marvel list?
Oh man, I don't know. It's high though.
Yeah.
It does. It's pretty high up there. It's definitely below Civil War. 4 or 5, somewhere in there.
All right.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. Allie, about the same for you? You think you rank it pretty high on your list?
Yeah, I think I'd put it pretty high on my list. It's definitely way above the third Iron Man.
Most of them are.
Way above.
Yeah.
I think Ant-Man's the bottom of my totem pole.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I liked Ant-Man.
I like it. It's just I think it's pretty close to the bottom.
It's not necessarily it's not a reference of how bad it is. It's
Yeah.
just a reference of how good everything else is.
Exactly.
I've never actually taken the time to rank them.
Yeah.
I may have to do
You
that.
might have to do that. And
I
then
might have
the
to do
next Marvel episode we have, which will probably Ragnarok. Is Ragnarok next, or is it Guardians?
Fuck if I know.
Oh.
I think it's Ragnarok.
Okay.
Ragnarok's done filming, so I
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. All right. Well, either way, once we get back around, we'll see if we can put together an actual hierarchy list. Oh, Dire Monkey's actually pulling it up. What's next?
Well, I
Probably-
think next
probably
for our
Ragnarok.
Look,
for our
it's itsy
podcast,
bitsy.
it should be Rogue One.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about the next Marvel episode we have.
I think Ragnarok is before Guardians 2.
Okay, has anybody else taken the time to consider the fact that for Rogue One, there's nothing that says that James Earl Jones can't be the voice for Darth Vader again?
I know. It'll be
And that fucking excites me
It'll be
so
wonderful.
much.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking
Yeah,
about it.
gives me a big old nerd boner.
That makes,
Fuck yeah.
that makes me moist.
Well, whatever it is, we'll find out here in just a few minutes, but we're going to go ahead and conclude it at this point in time. Get over to alltowerpodcast.com. Check us out over there. Be watching out for new stuff from us on YouTube on a regular basis. I'm still trying to work out some bugs that I have with some recording equipment in order to be able to get up some Let's Plays and things of that nature. We have all sorts of things that are lined up here in the very near future coming up to you here. Hey, look, there it is. Civil War, then Doctor Strange. Next one is 5/5/17, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, followed by July 28th for Thor Ragnarok. And
Really?
then there's a Black Panther movie for November 3rd, followed by
Black
Avengers Infinity War Part 1. That's May of 18. And then July 6th, Captain Marvel. And then Inhumans, November 2nd of 2018. And then Part 2 for the Infinity Wars, May 3rd of 2019.
I heard that there was some issues with the Inhumans in that slot.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we'll see. All this is on down the line, and it is rather tentative. But anyhow, that'll get us to the end of the episode. Here, Allie, you got one last thing?
May 5th is when Guardians 2 comes out?
5/5, yes.
Okay, that's what we're all doing for my birthday then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday early. So,
Way too early.
way too early. So, boys and girls, I appreciate you being on with us. Ledge, thanks for being on with us. I'll have to have you on again.
Oh, thank you for having me, good sir.
Yeah, I
Been a blast.
hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Good for a couple of chuckles. Jareth, you have anything else you want to add?
By internet?
Okay. Dire Monkey, you have anything you want to add? I know that you guys have stuff over here at Spellbook Studios.
Yep, we got a game coming out.
What?
Next week.
What?
Yep.
Is it Heroes of Dire?
Heroes of Dire.
What?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, you totally need to be playing that, boys and girls.
Yep.
And
Spent last week making dungeons. Been more this week making dungeons. So.
yeah, Ledge. If you have a phone that's not like Jareth's, which is a BlackBerry, then you should absolutely play this game because it is a lot of fun.
Oh,
It's
I would
wonderful.
love to.
Any mobile device in PC except for BlackBerry.
There you go. And Allie, why should you go over to their website?
So you can win things.
Because every now and then they give away stuff.
Yeah.
Also, to be a part of a community and help make the game better.
That's
Yeah,
true,
that too.
because they do listen to the community of players and things of that nature.
Come
so
on, my win things is a gimmick now.
That's true. That is exactly why I do that. Anyhow, boys and girls, thanks for being on with us. You guys have a safe night. We'll see you next time.
Make sure to check out our website, All Tower. Fucking hell.
Bloody hell, mate.
Let me try that one again.
I love turtles.